Criminology Board Exam Reviewer. Forensic Medicine. Definition of terms. Part 5. Inbreeding. It is the reproduction between related individuals. Incise wound. It is the injury produced by a sharp instrument and characterized by lack of surface abrasion and absence of bridging vessels, nerves, and smooth margins. Incision. It is a wound produced by a sharp-edged instrument or object. Ischemia. It is the obstruction of blood flow, usually by arterial narrowing, that causes lack of oxygen and other blood-borne nutrients. Ischemia necrosis. It is the death of cells as a result of decreased blood flow to affected tissues. Invertebrate. They are species of animal lacking a backbone. Impotence. It is the inability of a person to perform sexual intercourse. Jaundice. It is the yellowing of the skin and whites of the eyes due to an accumulation of bile pigments, for example bilirubin, in the circulating blood. Another cause is liver damage caused by hepatitis. Kleptomania. It is an irresistible desire to steal articles of little value. Labia majora. It is the outer lips to the vagina that are covered by pubic hair after menarche, onset of menstruation. Laceration. It is a wound produced by a tear in the skin due to application of blunt force in crushing or shearing. Livor mortis. It is the coloration of the skin of the lower parts of a corpse caused by the settling of the red blood cells as the blood ceases to circulate. Lymphocyte. It is a general class of white blood cells that are important components of the immune system of vertebrate animals. Maggot. It is the larva of a firefly. It sheds its skin twice and has 3 growth instars prior to pupariation. It is a legless larva without a well-developed head capsule. Mandible. It is a mouth organ of invertebrates, especially in the arthropods and insects, used for seizing, biting, and manipulating food. With vertebrate organisms, it is recognized as the lower jaw. Manner of death. It is a typology of deaths according to whether they are due to homicide, suicide, accident, or natural causes. Death occurs in one of 4 manners: natural, if caused solely by disease; accidental, if it occurs without apparent intent; suicidal, if caused by the deceased; and homicidal, if someone other than the deceased caused it. Malingering, shamming. It is the fabricating of symptoms of mental or physical disorders for a variety of reasons, such as financial compensation, often tied to fraud, avoiding school, work or military service, obtaining drugs, or as a mitigating factor for sentencing in criminal cases. Masochism. It is the opposite of sadism, derived from the name of Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, an Austrian novelist. Being whipped by his wife used to be a stimulant for his literary work. Medical jurisprudence. It deals with the legal rights, privileges, duties and obligations of medical practitioner. Meningitis. It is a brain infection involving an acute inflammation of the membranes that cover the brain and spinal cord, characterized by drowsiness, confusion, irritability, and sensory impairments. Mite. It is an arthropod in the order Acari. These are very small to minute animals having 4 pairs of legs in the adult stage, but only 3 pairs in the larva. All mites have chelicerated mouthparts and lack mandibles. Mummification. It is the drying, shrinking, and hardening of dead flesh due to extreme dehydration. Mutilomania. It is an irresistible desire to mutilate animals. Meiosis. It is the invasion of any living vertebrate animal, including people, by fly larvae, especially maggots. The description may be further refined to indicate location affected, for example, nasal meiosis, rectal meiosis, or the predisposing cause, for example, traumatic meiosis and a suppurating wound. Meiosis may be classified as either primary or secondary, facultative. Myocardial ischemia. It means insufficient oxygen supplies to meet the metabolic demands of heart muscles. Myocarditis. It is the inflammation of the muscles of the heart. Myoclonus. It is an involuntary spasm or twitching of a muscle or group of muscles. Myoglobin. It is an iron and oxygen binding protein found in the muscle tissue of vertebrates in general and in almost all mammals. Myotomy. It is the cutting of muscle, in forensic odontology, cutting facial muscles to release post-mortem rigor mortis. Necrophagia. Necros means corpse while phagia means to eat.